Hey guys, what's up? It's Stephanie and I'm here with a video. In this video today, I want to talk about the danger of comparing yourself to other people. All right, so God basically was speaking to my heart and he showed me the danger of comparing yourself to other people, and this is where a lot of people that are walking with him go wrong. You know, they compare themselves to other people, other worldly people, other chosen people. It's just so much comparing to the point where they can't even focus on themselves or their own journey for God. And that's dangerous because a lot of times people try to keep up with other people, compare themselves to other people, and when it comes to their own life and their own walk with God, they get discouraged and they actually give up or they actually settle. So instead of you comparing yourself to somebody and striving higher and achieving more for your life, you actually settle with your life and you actually take away. And when I say settle, I'm saying that because you're settling with your life because of the fact that you are depriving yourself from from attention that your walk with God needs. You're depriving yourself from the attention that you yourself need, because walking with God is not easy. You have to pay attention. You have to be aware of what's going on in your life. You have to be aware of what's going on spiritually in your life as well as in the physical. And you also have to be sensitive to the Holy Spirit. You have to be sensitive to what God is 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 instructing you on. You have to be sensitive to what's going on in your walk with God. You have to really pay attention and be keen in. And when you start to compare yourself to other people, what you actually do is you take your eyes off God. Just how Peter was walking on water with Jesus, you take your eyes off of Jesus and you start to focus your attention on somebody else. You start to focus your energy on somebody else's walk with God. And that's dangerous because guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to sink. You are going to sink. When you're on an airplane, they tell you put your oxygen mask on first before you assist others. If you're so focused in on helping somebody else get their oxygen mask on, or watching how somebody else is putting it on and how they're surviving and they're breathing through their oxygen mask, and you are so keen into that that you even forget to put an oxygen mask on your own face, you're going to suffer. Not that person, you are going to suffer. And a lot of people, a lot of God's chosen people do this. They compare themselves like, oh my gosh, I'm 18 years old now. And well, I know when Tiario was 18, he was walking with God, or he dropped out of school, or, just comparing your life with other people. And that's not the way to go about it. Yeah, it's good to be aware of other people's walks with God and hearing their testimony and everything like that. There's nothing wrong with knowing about other people's walks with God, but you got to figure out your own walk. You got to focus on your own walk. You have to figure out, okay, what is God asking me to do in this season of life? I'm a teenager. Is God asking me to drop out of school? Is God asking me to stay in school? Because here's the thing, it's called a personal relationship with God. What God may be calling somebody else to do, He's not calling you to do. And what God may be calling you to do, He hasn't called somebody else to do. So by you focusing and comparing your walk with God to somebody else, you are going to miss what God is instructing you to do. Because you could be looking at somebody else and saying, okay, well, this person, when they were this age, they did this, or right now, this is what they're working on. They're making videos, or right now they're starting their own business, or right now they're preaching in the streets and they're going from door to door, or right now they're in school. Whatever the case may be, you might be seeing that and thinking that that's something that you need to do, and you might make the wrong move in your walk with God. And you're going to have to redirect and get yourself back on track when you realize that that wasn't the right move. Or you could be looking at somebody else and saying, well, okay, um, this person dropped out of school, so I guess I need to drop out of school. But that's not what God is calling you to do. God may be calling you to stay because God has different assignments for each one of us. For some of us, God may use in school. God may use in certain jobs that are out there. You know, God's, like I said before in one of my videos, don't limit yourself, and definitely don't limit God. God is not just calling people to be in church. God is not just calling everybody to be a pastor, preacher, or minister. God may be calling you to be in the fashion industry. God may be calling you to be a police officer. God may be calling you to be a teacher. God may be calling you to be a lawyer, a doctor. God may be calling you to start your own business. God may be calling you to do street ministry. There's so many different avenues that God could pull a person into. And you have to figure out what that is for you, not what that is for your neighbor, not what that is for your best friend, not what that was for your mother or your father, your brother or your sister, your cousin, whomever, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You need to figure out what that is for you and what that means for you. God is calling you. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. Next thing too is some people are actually scared to actually even take a leap of faith for God. Some people are actually scared to even do their own thing for God. So they actually compare themselves. For instance, God may be instructing somebody to leave school. And that's a leap of faith that you don't want to take because you don't see anybody else around you that's taking that risk. You don't see anybody else around you that's just leaving school and dropping out. You don't know what the next chapter is going to be, what the next step is going to be, what that end result is going to be. You just don't know. And so you don't take the risk because your mom didn't do that. That's your excuse. Well, my mom didn't do that. Or my brother didn't do that. Or when my dad was walking with God, this is what he did. Or when my role model was walking with God, this is what she or he did. And you have to figure out your life for yourself. You have to figure out your own salvation because guess what? When we die and we come out of our bodies and it is judgment day for each and every one of us, let me tell you something. God is going to be judging you for your life, for your choices. What are the things that he called you to do that you didn't do? What are the risks he was pushing you to take and you didn't want to take? What are the instructions he was giving and you were so busy trying to figure out what your friend should be doing with her life that you couldn't even stop to listen to what God was instructing you to do for your own. And a lot of people do this, and it's to the point even where some people compare their walks with God and their lives to other people, so much so they start getting jealous and entertaining emotions that are of Satan. You get what I'm saying? They start entertaining negative emotions and getting jealous and thinking, well, God is doing this for this person. Why isn't he doing this for me? Maybe God doesn't like me. I should just go back into the streets. I should just go back being worldly. This is too rough. This is too tough. When my friend was walking with God, all God was opening all these doors for her. God was opening all these doors for him. But guess what? Everyone has different seasons of their life. Everyone is called in different seasons of their life. Everyone has different seasons to where God will pour out his blessings. And everybody has certain seasons of their life where God will just close that open door and have you waiting and yearning for a blessing from him, yearning, for him to outpour everything good that he has in store for you, to strengthen you. So don't get caught up with comparing yourself to other people because it's really dangerous. Focus on yourself. Focus on what God has in store for you. Focus on what God is calling you to do. Focus on hearing God's voice for yourself and for your own life. And I know that it is easier said than done for sure, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. You know, putting in the work and figuring out what God wants for your walk with God is worth it. You know, there's so much power in that. Like I say in most of my videos, there's so much power in walking with God. There is. And figuring out what God has in store for you. Stop trying to help somebody finish their story and their walk with God and work on getting your story written. Work on keeping your name written in the Lamb's Book of Life. You know, and it's not to say that there are times where God calls us to intervene in our friends' lives or others' lives. There are times when God may call you to help a friend out, get back on track, or help a friend figure something out. But that shouldn't be your sole focus 24/7. You shouldn't be comparing your walk with God to theirs. You shouldn't. You have your own, you are your own individual with your own purpose. So you need to figure that out. And if you don't want to pay attention to your own walk with God, you are going to sink and sink and sink. And God's going to have to pull you back out that water and tell you you need to stay focused on Him. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Stephanie. Be blessed. Be encouraged. And like I said in this video, do not compare yourself to others. Alrighty.